Hey guys, LQ here with the LQ Review, and I'm here to give you my review on episode 4 of The Twilight Zone, of Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone. I'd spoken in my previous reviews how the first one, The Comedian, was really good. The second one, Nightmare at 30,000 Feet, was even better, and Replay was the best. So, did this one continue the Traveler? Did episode 4, The Traveler, did it continue that upward trajectory of the Twilight Zone episodes? No, it did not. This was the weakest of the four. I was engaged in it for about the first 3/4 of it. And then I kind of got bored. So this one involves Stephen Yeun, who plays Glenn in The Walking Dead. He is the title character, the Traveler. His name is A. Traveler, and it involves a police station in Alaska on Christmas Eve, and a white sheriff and a predominantly white staff, including a white mayor, has they've got their hands firmly gripped in this community. There's an Air Force base nearby in this Alaskan community, and they are bringing they're all about bringing the Judeo-Christian values to this community, and that includes to the natives who live there, some of which are on the police force. Well, the sheriff is all about those the Christmas traditions, and one of his Christmas traditions is pardoning a somebody in jail. Every Christmas Eve, he pardons somebody who had been arrested and is in jail. He said, as long as they didn't kill somebody, or as long as they're not on the terrorist list, or as long as they haven't done anything too egregious, he will pardon one person every Christmas, every year. And this year, there's nobody in the prison. And one of the police officers, who is a Native American, or might be a Native Eskimo, I don't know. I'm not. I think they're clear on it, but I just forgot what it was. So please don't be offended. Those details didn't stick with me. But a native to that area, she arrests her brother for public intoxication, who also obviously is a native. And she puts him in the prison, and she says, don't worry, you're the only one in the prison, and he's going to pardon somebody, so it's going to have to be you. Well, when they go to pardon him, in a cell just a couple cells down, they find somebody who's sitting there. And it's Stephen Yeun's character, and he introduces himself as A. Traveler. And he introduces himself as like a extreme tourist. And one of his goals in his tourism is to get pardoned by this sheriff. And we get deeper and deeper and deeper into, he knows things about all the people at this Christmas party. He knows all of their dirty laundry. And as we get deeper into it, they start pulling Russia into it. Russia, as we know, is close to Alaska. So they start pulling Russia into it. And is there a Russian conspiracy? Is there an alien conspiracy? There is a conspiracy. And the question is it Russians? Is it aliens? Does it hit a little closer to home? Is it a combination? And it's kind of a mystery that with a bit of a science fiction element to it. And I was fascinated at first with the Stephen Yeun character. I thought that they were going to go the route of him being like a demon, or a satanic character, or something along those routes. And when they started to deviate from that, and it started to go a little more science fiction-y, I got bored. I honestly got bored on the last third of this episode, last quarter of this episode. I really got bored, and I lost interest. And they when it ended, I was mildly fascinated with the way that they ended it. But out of all the endings of the 4 episodes of the Twilight Zone so far, this was the least satisfying of the endings. I wasn't satisfied by it. I didn't like the way it ended. This is the Twilight Zone, and all Twilight Zone episodes end in a certain way. And this one kind of ended with that standard dread of a Twilight Zone episode, but all the buildup, I felt, for all the buildup that there was, I felt that the payoff wasn't worth it. All the exposition that there was, I felt like the payoff wasn't worth it. So they were bound to have a bad episode, and I didn't really like this episode. Out of all 4 episodes so far, I'll probably revisit the first 3. I'm very unlikely to revisit this one, just because I didn't care for it that much. Like I said, I was dialed in for the first part, and I was into it, and then the story started to develop, and they started to lay it out for us, and as they laid it out for us, I just started to lose interest. The acting was fine. Stephen Yeun did a good job. Greg Kinnear was great as the sheriff, but as the story unfolded and the mystery started to come to light, I just got less and less interested in what was happening. So that's unfortunate, but still been a great series so far. 4 episodes in. Hopefully they can rebound next week and get right back onto that solid track. But this episode left me wanting more, and in a bad way. So take that for what it's worth, and not any reason to not watch the show though. You know, one bad episode does not make a show, and it's been great so far. So I'm sure they'll rebound next week. So what did you think of this episode? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for visiting, and as always, thank you for being here at the LQ Review, where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about.